G'day guys, Sean Savage here from Streaker Marine. Today we're on board the Haines Signature 620BR. Down here in Melbourne, this is an ultra popular boat. We think we've hit the package spot on with our Dumbia drive-on trailer, Yamaha 4-stroke, and some of the options we've had factory fitted from this boat we think are just about right. So we're going to show you through it, do a bit of a walkthrough, go through a performance test, and see if this is your next boat. We're going to go through some of the internal parts of the boat first with a bit of a walkthrough, see what we like, possibly what we don't like. Just to let you know, I haven't actually spent a lot of time in this boat yet, so I've kept it pretty raw, so I will have a bit more of an initial reaction to things, and I'm sure there'll be things that I might miss, but we're going to go through it the best we possibly can and just see what parts of this boat might suit you best for you and your family and what you do in your boat. We're going to start from the front, work our way back. I think that'll be the best way to do it. The first thing I've noticed when I was driving this boat out is the bow rider section's deep. I love that. It gives me two things that I can work with. One is I can get a board made up here. So if you are inland fishing, or even if you're coastal fishing, you're going for squid or whatever you're doing, you might want one person casting at the back and one at the front. So if I had a board here, I could comfortably cast and if I was down in these southern states like we have at Lake Eildon, where you're doing a lot of your casting fishing, but then also out in the bay if you're going for whiting and squid and all those sort of things. It's nice to be able to work the whole boat. And by not having a cabin, which is a bit of a useless area in that style, we can really cast the whole boat. The next thing I like is the bow rider section's deep. It's made to be in more open water, so people are going to be safe and inside the boat. You'll see a lot of bow riders, when you sit inside of them, you feel like you're really on top of the boat, but in this one, when I sit, I'm deep. I'm really inside the boat. I don't feel like I'm in a vulnerable sort of position. I've got plenty of room so you can be comfortable. You can get that center board in there as well to make the whole thing into more of a one style board, or you can have your seating arrangement. Initially, I've got this handrail here either side, which I really like. And there's also a little storage compartment for each passenger on the port and starboard side that has a drink holder, a little bit of storage, and it's a nice area. It's the sort of spot that you could comfortably sit up here for a period of time. You don't feel like you're in a real sort of sketchy sort of position. You feel like you're safe and you're comfortable. Now, when you are looking at bow riders, and especially if you've got any consideration of being out in the bay like we are today on this beautiful day, you need to buy something that has an anchor well, because you are going to be doing anchoring and you don't want to be lifting up seats and having a vulnerable area where there's mud and water and things coming inside the boat with your anchor rope and chain. You want it in a separate compartment. Haines Signature haven't forgotten about that, being a traditional blue water brand, and we have our anchor well, which is separated from our bow rider section, so we can put our anchor rope and chain in here. We have a separate bowsprit, we have a pop-up cleat, and it's a really functional boat for inland water, but the coastal water like we are today. Want to drop the anchor? It has to be easy. So we're going to work our way back now and work our way through. Next thing I've seen is the boat's wide, and when the boat's wide, I have a great driver's position, passenger spot. But look at the width I've got through here. It's not a pokey boat. Everywhere you walk, you don't feel like you're sort of obstructing anything else or anybody else. Feels like there's plenty of room through here. Looking at the passenger side, we have our JL audio stereo. We have our drink holder. We have a really big storage compartment. So it's big, it's deep. It's actually got a drain, so it must be plumbed as well. It's got USB ports in there, so if you've got your phones or your iPads or whatever, you can put them in there. They're going to be safe, they're going to be dry. You can close the lid and you can charge them. Looking at the driver's side, so I'm actually going to sit now, and one thing I do like about these seats is I get two options with my seating. I can have my bolster up. What that's going to mean is I'm still a comfortable seating position, but I'm sitting up a lot higher than I normally would. Parking, docking, if we're launching, retrieving the boat, whatever we're doing, you want to be just a little bit higher and a little bit more visibility. This is a great way to manage this seat. But then when you're motoring and you want to be tucked in a little bit more, you can drop that bolster, totally different seating position. Now I'm really looking through that windscreen. I've got more protection. I'm a little bit lower, the same height as everyone else throughout the boat. I have a side mount control box, Yamaha These new control boxes are awesome. We actually have a speed adjuster here, which we'll go through when we do our actual water test. Forward, neutral, reverse. It doesn't obstruct with the seat whatsoever. So you can see here, I can spin my seat and I'm not going to knock my throttle. I have my steering wheel, it's hydraulic steering, and it has a steering tilt as well. So if I'm standing up, I can lift it up, and if I'm a bit more sporty, I can have it down a little bit more. I have my Yamaha gauge, which is a new Yamaha touchscreen gauge. I have a Simrad fish finder and GPS. All my switch panels are clearly marked. I have a drink holder. I also have a phone charger as well, so I can have my phone safe, charging, and in an easy position for me to see. So as far as the driver and passenger seats go, it's a tick. The other thing I'm feeling is I feel a bit of a plushness about this boat. I've got these beautiful upholstered dashes either side. My seat and my upholstery is classy. I've got padded side combings either side. I've got this beautiful flooring that goes through with this X-deck flooring. I feel like I'm in a much more of a high-end sort of style package. Now, while you're looking down there, I haven't actually opened this before, but there you go. There's your ski locker and your storage locker. So if you want to put things away that are bigger items, fenders, water skis, all those sort of things, that's where you'll slide it, because you'll see here, that'll go all the way forward. So when I'm talking water skis, I have that room forward there. I do want to show you this fender as well, because it's very cool. Now I'm going to turn around and we'll go to the back of the boat. I have a rear lounge. Now the rear lounge, if you see that, has a warp in the backrest. And that's designed to have this engine well. So the boat's going to perform, the boat's going to trim up, and I've got a great engine well at the back there. The thing I love about Haines Signature boats is they don't ever compromise performance in any way. The boats are built to perform. When you drive these things, if it's a cabin boat, their bow rider, it feels more like a sports car than anything else. It's got that really nice response and that feel where you feel like you're in something a bit more exciting. Got my ski pole here. But as far as the rear lounge goes, either side here, super comfortable. Again, I'm deep. I feel like I'm really inside the boat. I've got handrails. While I've got this, reason why I'm showing you, sometimes these can start a bit of a war with the family on how to tie up ropes and fenders, etc. That's all gone now. You pop that in there, flick it over, happy days. I think that's just a fantastic feature that you can use inside your boat here. But the spot that I was curious in is in the middle here. It's actually really good. It's not as comfortable as the sides here. So in the sides there, I think because you got those upholstered side pockets and you feel like you've got your own little spot, this feels like a middle seat of a car. It's the backrest is still quite, the bum area is still quite long. The backrest feels fine, but it's not. You wouldn't pick this spot if you had these two available, I suppose. The great thing about this rear lounge is it's storage under it. So when I lift this up, there's my fiberglass storage compartment at the back there. So this is where you'll put things like towels and you put life jackets and whatever else you want. You've got a really nice dry area in there. I mentioned earlier that we got Yamaha 4-stroke outboards and they're just a fantastic product. This is our 200 horsepower. One thing I love about these new motors is this new integrated steering compartment here. So the steering is actually a part of the motor inside there. It's all nice and clean. My engine well is flush. These new 200s look fantastic, but we haven't forgotten about water sports in this boat. We still have awesome boarding platforms either side. The boarding platform on the port side of the boat has a retractable ladder, so that'll be nice and deep in the boat so you can step onto that and get into the back here. The advantage of a 4-stroke outboard on the back is our performance, our reliability, our space throughout the boat because the engine's all the way at the back. But with a stern drive motor, where the motor's more forward and in this area here, you get that full-length boarding platform. I think Haines Signature have done a great job by these oversized boarding platforms that are at a water height to give you that really appealing sort of way to get in and out of the boat. It doesn't feel like it'll be a chore. I think that's been done really well. We also have a little door here that just opens on the side there, and that gives us that direct access to get in and out of the boat. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get to the nitty gritty of it now. We're going to turn the key, get the boat going, go through some rev ranges, do some turns and see how the boat really performs. All right, so the first thing we'll do is get in our driving position. We have a control box here. We're gonna make sure it's in neutral, so we're gonna turn the key. If the motor wasn't in neutral, you get no response from the engine whatsoever. But being in neutral, we're all ready to go. We've got great visibility, so I feel like I can see my gauges forward of the boat, either side of the boat. You might have noticed already, we haven't fitted a bimini cover to this boat yet. It's brand new. It hasn't, first time it's been in the water. So it's something that we haven't done. Everyone's gonna want a bimini roof. So that's just something to consider, but the boat looks fantastic without it. Might just tighten my hat for that reason. All right, so we're doing our 1500 RPM. We're doing our 12 to 13 kilometers an hour. The boat's sitting flat. We're using 5 liters an hour. This is our idling speed. This is where we will sort of sit when we're coming in and out of harbors, going slow, the cheese and dip, just cruising around. This is that speed. Now, why we're doing this speed is 2 reasons. The boat's sitting flat. That's a really good thing. It's a sign of a well-balanced boat where it's not out of shape when it's going slow. And the next thing is that 4-stroke at the back. It's so quiet. There's no smoke. There's no fumes. There's no emissions. It's just a really quiet, you hardly know the thing's running at the back. So our next step will be to plane the boat, get it up, get it going. Obviously, having maximum horsepower means that we have heaps of horsepower. We're not going to run out of horsepower. If you've seen our videos before, I do talk about how to balance your boat with the trim. So we're doing 3,500 RPM. We're finding that we're sitting on 3 bars of trim. So 3,000 RPM, 3 bars of trim. 4,000, 4 bars. 5,000, we've got the 5 bars of trim. Now, we got a really good power because we're doing 3,600 RPM, but we're getting 46 kilometers an hour. So that's really good. 21 liters an hour, which is great fuel economy. And the boat is at speed, I'm noticing, very quiet. So you're not hearing that water noise go under the hull. Now, I was talking about performance earlier. Haines Signature boats are so well known for their ride quality, and this is exactly why. There's a lot of boat chop today, and that's when you find boats can be a little bit less comfortable. But at 45 kilometers an hour, my hat's straight, I'm comfortable, and everything is good. So let's go up. Well, let's go to 4.5. Heaps of power, 4,500. Motor's still just so sweet, it's quiet, it's effortless power. We're doing 60 kilometers an hour, 35 liters an hour. We'll do a little turn at this speed, 4 bars of trim. See how the boat's turning level? So it's not cavitating from the motor there. The boat's not leaning when it turns extremely flat. That's really good. It means the boat's super well balanced and it turns right or left just as well. It doesn't have a favored side when it's turning. We're still doing 4,500 RPM. Boat's sitting level. I'm not doing anything and the boat's very comfortable to drive. Now let's drop the hammer. See what kind of revs we can get out of this thing. Plenty of trim. Going over our own wash now. Beautiful. 6,000 RPM. 80 kilometers an hour. 6 bars of trim. It is singing like a bird. So when I talk performance, this is it. We are really hooking and the boat's just so happy to do it. So we're gonna slow down. The next thing we're gonna do is our last test, which will be going slow and then accelerating to see what kind of power we have down low. So down to an idle. We're gonna drop the hammer and we're just gonna see how the boat goes from a slow idling speed up to its maximum RPM, which we'll do now. Heaps of power, doesn't lift its bow, and straight to 6,000 RPM. So it's propped perfectly. The thing I love about these guys is they water test the boat before it gets to the dealer. This has been done so well. Now, sometimes you do find to adjust the throttle can be a little bit tricky, especially when you're towing water skiers. They might want to go a fraction slower or a fraction faster, and it's hard to do with the stick here. What we have now is a digital speed changer. So if we look at the gauge here, you'll see I'm digitally changing 50 RPM as I'm going along, and I'm doing that digitally from this button here, which is a really great feature. When you've had a few boats and you know it's hard to manage the throttle sometimes, especially with water skiers on the back, I think you'll find that a real benefit. So I hope that helps with your boat shopping. I hope you've seen a few things in this boat that you might like and want to check out in person. And if you do, we'd love to help you here at Streaker Marine. We're in Mountain Highway Bayswater, which is in Victoria. We're a premium dealer with Yamaha outboards, cruise craft boats, yellowfin boats, Quintrex boats, and now so proud to have Haines Signature as well. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please let us know at Streaker Marine. Thanks for watching.